Imagine a day that stretches on for 8 months. The sun crawls across the sky, a burning eye that never blinks. The air is heavy, suffocating. This is Venus, a planet of scorching heat and crushing pressure. What if Earth experienced a single day under Venus's rule? The oceans would boil away first. Temperatures soaring past 900 degrees Fahrenheit would turn Earth's life-giving waters into vapor. Forests would erupt into flames, the very air itself igniting in a global inferno. A day on Venus, transplanted to Earth, would be an apocalyptic event. It would be the end of our world as we know it. Venus rotates incredibly slowly. A single rotation, a Venusian day, takes 243 Earth days. This means that if Earth were to adopt Venus's rotation, our day would stretch on for almost 8 months. Imagine a summer that never ends, the sun a relentless presence in the sky. Days would bleed into weeks, weeks into months. The rhythm of life, the cycle of day and night that governs our planet, would be shattered. This endless day would have catastrophic consequences for Earth. The prolonged exposure to the sun's heat would trigger runaway global warming, turning our planet into an oven. Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system, even hotter than Mercury, which is closer to the sun. This extreme heat is a result of a runaway greenhouse effect. Venus's atmosphere is a thick shroud of carbon dioxide, a gas that traps heat. The sun's energy pierces this shroud, but the heat cannot escape, creating a furnace-like environment. If Earth were to experience a day under Venus's atmosphere, our planet would be cooked from the inside out. The heat would be unbearable, the very rocks themselves baking under the relentless sun. Imagine standing on the surface of Venus. The air is heavy, almost a liquid in its density. You struggle to take a breath, the weight of the atmosphere pressing down on you with unimaginable force. The atmospheric pressure on Venus is 90 times greater than Earth's. It is the equivalent of being 3,000 feet beneath the ocean's surface. No human could survive such pressure. If Earth's atmosphere were to suddenly become as dense as Venus's, our bodies would be crushed instantly. Our buildings would collapse, their structures unable to withstand the immense weight. Section 5. Acid rain, a corrosive nightmare. The rain on Venus is not life-giving, it is a corrosive nightmare. Unlike the gentle, nourishing rain we experience on Earth, the precipitation on Venus is a deadly deluge of sulfuric acid. This acid rain is a byproduct of the planet's thick, toxic atmosphere, which is composed primarily of carbon dioxide and clouds of sulfuric acid. The clouds of Venus are filled with sulfuric acid, a highly corrosive substance that would eat away at anything it touches. These clouds form at altitudes of 45 to 70 kilometers above the planet's surface, where temperatures can reach up to 450 degrees Celsius. The sulfuric acid droplets are so concentrated that they can corrode metal, dissolve rock, and obliterate any form of life. Imagine this acid rain falling on Earth. The consequences would be catastrophic. Our lush landscapes, teeming with life, would be transformed into barren wastelands. The acid rain would strip away the protective layers of vegetation, leaving the soil exposed and vulnerable to erosion. Rivers and lakes would become toxic, unable to support aquatic life. It would strip away vegetation, leaving behind a barren wasteland. Forests would wither and die, crops would fail, and entire ecosystems would collapse. The delicate balance of nature would be disrupted, leading to a chain reaction of environmental disasters. Wildlife would struggle to find food and shelter, and many species would face extinction. It would eat away at buildings, turning cities into rubble. The infrastructure we rely on would be compromised as the acid rain corrodes metal, concrete, and stone. Skyscrapers would crumble, bridges would collapse, and roads would disintegrate. The economic impact would be devastating, as entire cities would need to be rebuilt from the ground up. The very air would become thick with acid, making it impossible to breathe. The sulfuric acid particles would mix with the air, creating a toxic smog that would choke the lungs and burn the skin. People would be forced to wear protective gear just to survive, and respiratory illnesses would become rampant. The quality of life would plummet, and the healthcare system would be overwhelmed. A day of Venusian acid rain on Earth would be like unleashing a weapon of mass destruction. The sheer scale of the devastation would be unimaginable. Homes, schools, hospitals, and businesses would be destroyed. The social fabric of communities would be torn apart, as people struggle to cope with the loss of their homes and livelihoods. The psychological toll would be immense, as the constant threat of acid rain looms over every aspect of life. It would be a toxic apocalypse, wiping out life and transforming our planet into a poisonous wasteland. The Earth, once a vibrant and thriving ecosystem, would become a desolate and inhospitable place. The long-term effects on the environment would be profound as the acid rain continues to erode the landscape and poison the water supply. The legacy of Venusian acid rain would be a stark reminder of the fragility of our planet and the importance of protecting it from such catastrophic events. Section 6. Life on a Venusian Earth, impossible. The extreme heat, the crushing pressure, the corrosive rain, these conditions make life on Venus impossible for life as we know it. Venus, often called Earth's twin due to its similar size and proximity, is a world of extremes. The surface temperature can soar to a blistering 900 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead. The atmospheric pressure is 92 times that of Earth, equivalent to being 3,000 feet underwater. And the clouds? They are made of sulfuric acid, creating a toxic environment that would corrode any exposed material. And if Earth were to experience a single day under these conditions, it would be catastrophic. Imagine our lush green landscapes transforming into barren wastelands within hours. The very air we breathe would become a deadly cocktail of gases, unfit for any form of life. Life on our planet would also cease to exist. Plants, the foundation of our food chain, would wither and die under the relentless heat. Photosynthesis, the process by which plants convert sunlight into energy, would come to a halt. Without plants, herbivores would starve, followed by the carnivores that prey on them. Plants would wither and die under the relentless heat. The once vibrant forests and fields would turn into desolate, lifeless expanses. The cycle of life that sustains our planet would be irreparably broken. Animals would suffocate in the dense atmosphere, their bodies crushed by the pressure. Birds would fall from the sky, unable to breathe. Mammals, reptiles, and amphibians would all succumb to the toxic air and crushing weight. Their bodies crushed by the pressure. The immense weight of the atmosphere would flatten structures, collapse buildings, and render the surface uninhabitable. The very fabric of our civilization would be torn apart. The oceans, now boiling cauldrons, would offer no refuge. The water would evaporate, leaving behind vast dry basins. Marine life, from the smallest plankton to the largest whales, would perish in the superheated waters. A day on Venus would be a mass extinction event for Earth, wiping the slate clean of life. The diversity of species that took millions of years to evolve would be erased in a matter of hours. The intricate web of life, from microorganisms to apex predators, would unravel completely, wiping the slate clean of life. The remnants of our once thriving ecosystems would be reduced to mere shadows of their former selves. The Earth, a once vibrant and dynamic planet, would become a desolate wasteland, and leaving behind a silent, sterile planet, a world where the only sounds are the howling winds and the occasional rumble of geological activity. A planet devoid of the songs of birds, the rustle of leaves, and the chatter of animals. A silent, sterile planet, echoing the harsh reality of life on Venus. Section 7. Technology and a Venusian Day. Could our technology withstand a Venusian Day? The answer is a resounding no. The extreme heat would melt circuits, the pressure would crush delicate instruments, and the acid rain would corrode even the most durable materials. Our energy grids would fail, plunging us into darkness. Our communication systems would go offline, leaving us isolated and alone. Our transportation networks would grind to a halt, stranding us in a dying world. A day on Venus would be a stark reminder of the fragility of our technology in the face of nature's raw power. Section 8. Venus, a cautionary tale for Earth. Venus, once a planet with the potential for life, is now a desolate wasteland, a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked environmental degradation. Billions of years ago, Venus might have had oceans and a climate similar to Earth's. However, a runaway greenhouse effect transformed it into the inhospitable world we see today. The greenhouse effect, which traps heat in a planet's atmosphere, can be beneficial in moderation. It keeps our Earth warm enough to support life. But on Venus, this effect spiraled out of control, leading to surface temperatures hot enough to melt lead. The thick atmosphere, composed mainly of carbon dioxide, traps heat and creates a pressure 92 times greater than Earth's at sea level. It is a cautionary tale for Earth, a stark reminder of what could happen if we fail to address climate change. Our planet is already showing signs of distress. Heat waves and wildfires are becoming more frequent and intense. Pollution is choking our cities and the ice caps are melting at an alarming rate, contributing to rising sea levels. We are already seeing the effects of climate change on our planet. Temperatures are rising, sea levels are increasing, and the impacts are being felt worldwide. Coastal areas are experiencing more frequent flooding, and entire ecosystems are being disrupted. The delicate balance that sustains life on Earth is under threat. Extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and severe. Hurricanes, wildfires, droughts, and floods are no longer rare occurrences but regular events that devastate communities and economies. The cost of inaction is immense, both in terms of human suffering and economic loss. If we do not act now to reduce our emissions and transition to a more sustainable way of life, we risk pushing our planet down a path that leads to a Venusian future. The solutions are within our reach. Renewable energy sources like wind and solar power can significantly reduce our carbon footprint. People around the world are demanding action, and sustainable living practices are becoming more mainstream. We must heed the warning that Venus provides. By making conscious choices today, we can ensure a healthier, more sustainable future for generations to come. The fate of our planet is in our hands, and the time to act is now. If we ignore the signs, we risk pushing our planet down a path that leads to a Venusian future, a world where life as we know it can no longer exist. Section 9. Could you survive? Imagine waking up to a sky that burns with an unrelenting sun. The air is thick and heavy, making it difficult to breathe. The heat is oppressive, suffocating. This is a day on Venus and you are living it. Could you survive such a day? What measures would you take to protect yourself from the extreme heat, the crushing pressure, the corrosive rain? It is a question worth pondering, for it forces us to confront the fragility of our existence and the importance of protecting our planet.